Hey everybody, this is Jarrett here. I just wanted to talk a little bit about how to maximize your business. So many of us were drawn into the Doobly business model because it offers a lot of freedom. You can work from anywhere, work from home, work from on the road, you can go to an office if you want and do it. You can talk on the phone with people, you can meet with them face to face. It offers a lot of freedom. But with that freedom comes some danger, and a lot of times we look at the restrictions and the structure of a normal 8-to-5, 9-to-5 job as being a bad thing. But a lot of that structure is put in place by smart, experienced businessmen because they know that it maximizes production. And so the key is to combine the freedom elements and independent nature of the Doobly business model, your business, with some structure so that you can experience the best of both worlds, so you can have the freedom that you enjoy while also being productive. And so we're going to talk about how to make Doobly a full-time job that will pay your bills and will give you the lifestyle that you want. But that's not just going to happen by waking up and making a call here, a call there, or taking no time to prepare anything. So first thing I want to talk about is having a daily plan. Again, it can be flexible, but you need to have something because, if you go to a regular job, there's, even if you're the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company, you are accountable to someone. There's a board of directors, there's shareholders. If you go to a regular 8-to-5 job and you're working behind a desk, you have probably a manager. Even if you're a manager, there's like a regional manager or whatever there is. There's always someone that you're accountable to. In our business, in the Doobly business model, obviously, your upline wants you to succeed because they benefit, so they're going to help you. But you're not really accountable to them. You are your own boss. There's no one that you are answering to. There's no one checking on you to see if you're at a desk making calls or researching your leads. It's just you. And so that's a lot of pressure on you to perform. And if you don't take the necessary steps to make goals and a plan, you kind of will just end up roaming around and probably won't be very successful. Someone once said that if we don't set goals and learn how to master the techniques of living to reach our goals, then we will get old and look back on our life only to see that we reached a small part of our potential, And so when you learn to master the principle of goal setting, you'll be able to make a greater difference in the result in your life. And so whether that's in Doobly or other aspects, that's a general true principle. Setting goals is going to help you achieve your true potential. And in this Doobly business, if you don't take the time to have a structure and set goals and have plans, then you are going to not succeed, and you're going to probably get out of the business, and you're going to look back and probably you may even have, in this type of business, people when they leave, there's one of two common things that I've seen. First is they look back and they're angry that they got into it because they feel like they were misled and they didn't make as much money as they should have. The other one is that they aren't really mad, but they still look back and think, man, what could have been. But in both scenarios, the common theme is that they look back with regrets, right? And if you set goals and make plans and follow through on those goals and track those goals, you're going to be a lot more successful. So anyway, kind of rambling a little bit. Sorry about that. We're going to move on now. So I have this up here on the screen, daily plan. So this is something that can be very useful every night or whatever. Let's say you want to be done working. You're free. It's your job, okay? Let's say you want to be done working, no more calls unless someone absolutely can't make a call with you until later, and you can be flexible. But you want to be done at 4 every day. But before you are done, before you leave your home office, if you have a place of business that you're actually going to, or whatever you do before you, quote unquote, clock out, you should take time to to kind of summarize how that day went, see what goals you accomplished, and set goals for the next day. So, 4 o'clock comes around and you say, okay, let's plan out tomorrow's day. So here I'm going to, 7 o'clock, you can, write what you're going to do, okay? 8 o'clock, okay, now, and then 9 a.m., okay, I have a call tomorrow at 9, so I'm going to put this call with such and such. And if that falls through, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare for my next call because I have a call at 10 too. So, but the key is, you see this without the big W, is as you're making these goals, you have these backup plans too, so that if something happens or if this call, maybe they say, you call and you say, hey, you still have time? And they say, no, actually, can we move it till tomorrow? Now if you don't have a backup plan, what are you going to do in that hour? You're going to kind of flounder, right? And I mean, a lot of people, not a lot of people, some people can just pick up and find something productive to do. But most people, if they have a plan and it falls through, then they kind of are lost and they don't know what to do. And then they kind of, you sit around until your next call and there's a wasted 45 minutes that you could have been productive. You could have been bettering yourself at your business. You could have been, implementing some new knowledge, studying something, whatever it is. But the key is you got to have these plans and then have some backup plans, because you're dealing with other people which means that your day can be unpredictable. You want to try to prepare and plan as best as possible, but have backup plans and have backup plans to the backups so that you stay focused and so you stay on topic, on task, and making progress. So you make your goals all throughout the day, and then, maybe you write down here you want to write a reminder to send emails, right? Emails for your appointments the next day to confirm, right? Whatever you want to do, okay? You made your plans, made some backup plans. You keep a to-do list, and then all throughout the day, the next day, when you're referring back to your plans and what you're going to be doing and your to-do list, you're like, oh, I got that done. I got that done. These are just small steps towards accomplishing a goal, and that is huge. Sometimes that's what we need to keep going, is to see that we're making progress. You can set goals for what you're going to study, as far as, maybe you have a sales book that you want to read, or a personality book you want to read, or just a communication type, whatever you want to do to make yourself better. There should always be time at the beginning of your day up here for making yourself better at what you do, making yourself a more well-rounded communicator and person. So, keep some, and then here's another key point right here. These right here, your goals. I did another training about weekly goals. In accordance with that, break up your weekly goals into daily goals. You can write in whatever goals you want to have, whether it's, you want to close 2 deals because that's on the horizon for you, or you want to have 3 follow-up appointments. So you say you have 6 calls and you want half of those calls to have follow-ups at least. So you set whatever goals you want, right? You set your goal, and at the end of the day, it's really easy to come back and say, okay, I wanted 3 follow-up calls. I only got 2. Okay, so I need to get better at that. Something maybe needs to, in my closing skills, I need to get a little bit better, whatever it is. But it's easy to say, okay, here's the daily goal. Here's my actual goal. Did I achieve it? Yes or no? Yes or no? And that is an excellent way to make progress incrementally. Because when you're measuring your performance is going to improve. So another thing I want to point out is that when you're making your plans, you need to make sure that you are planning time to prepare. I kind of mentioned it earlier. Prepare for the day. You want to prepare for each call. Say you have a call at 11:30. So you want to make sure that you're taking time. In the morning, you're studying for whatever you want to study for, and let's say your first call is not till 10. That's all morning long that you need to find something productive to do, whether that's studying the compensation plan or studying Doobly or studying the training site or studying, like I said, a self-help type of book, or better yet, studying the Form 990 and the website of a charity that you're going to be calling, studying the website and the business model of a business that you're going to be calling. So that way now you're doing all this studying up here, and then at 11:30 you have a call, and then at 11 you're preparing for that call, and that 11 o'clock preparation, it's not a cram session. It's a refresher of, okay, yeah, that's right. This is the guy's name. This is how it started. This is what they do. This is who they work with. And you've already have that done, and now you're preparing for. Now you're just kind of finalizing your preparations and making a final, personalized sales flow, sales pitch to that call. But it's not a cram session right before. So that is a very important aspect of your day that, and it's only going to happen if you write it down and you make that plan and you refer back to it and say, okay, what was I going to be doing right now? Oh yeah, that's right. So as you do these things every day, you're going to see incremental progress, and that's the key. You're not going to see instant perfection, and no one expects instant perfection. But what we're going to see is instant progression, and that's key, because in 5 days, 10 days, a month, you will be a much better person and a much better business associate and a much better business owner of your own business. And you'll have a lot more success. You will have higher conversion rate, and that's going to happen as you set goals and follow up on those goals. Like I said, set weekly goals, break those down into weekly goals, break your daily goals into daily tasks over here. Your daily tasks should be pointing you in the direction of accomplishing these goals right here. And these goals should be pointing you in the direction of your weekly goals, whatever they are. And your weekly goals should be pointing in the direction of your overall goals of, maybe you want to make. So this is the way this is going to work. Let's say pick a number. You want to make $5,000 a month. So you set weekly goals that are going to break that up, right? So you want to make a little over $1,000 a week. So what do you need to do to make $1,000 a week? So you set those goals. Okay, now each day, what do you need to do to accomplish those weekly goals? Now, with these weekly goals, each hour of a day, what do you need to be doing to accomplish those goals? And again, you see, then as you're doing these things, you're accomplishing these goals, and then these goals are being accomplished. And at the end of the month, you've made your $5,000. Okay, so that kind of stop there for a second. Let that process. As a leader in your business, and as a business owner, and as your own boss, it's important that you realize that no one's checking up on you, and your success is dependent upon your effort. And you can make any excuses that you want, but when it comes down to it, that's the beauty of this business. Is there's this high level of accountability. You put in the work, you get the reward. You don't put in the work, you're not going to get the reward. So part of the work is having some structure and setting goals. real quick, let's talk about goal setting just to kind of close out this training. I have this in a file, but I'm going to write this out here. SMART goals, okay? So you need to have, when you're setting goals, keep this in mind. So you can't just set random goals, and they need to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, on a timetable, okay? They need to be specific to the point. You need to be able to say yes or no, I accomplished this. It can't be a maybe, and it's kind of hard to tell if I actually accomplished that goal. Yes, no, specific. They need to be measurable, kind of the same type of thing. Yes, no, did you accomplish them? Can you put a number to it? Can you put a yes, no to it? A is for achievable. You need to set realistic goals, because again, the purpose of goals is to improve incrementally. They need to be relevant to your, so if you're setting weekly goals, they need to be relevant to your overall goals. Your weekly goals need to be relevant. Your daily goals need to be relevant to your weekly goals. Your daily activities need to be relevant to your daily goals. And then they need to be on a timetable. And that's what it's in a week, it's in a week, it's in a day, it's in an hour. What do you can say, okay, 9 o'clock hour, I was going to do this. Did I do it? Yes. At the end of the day, I wanted to get 2 closes. I got 2 closes. Yes, I got it. At the end of that day, the daily goal. So specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and on a timetable, I'm going to add another one, visible. And that's the purpose of having a document like this. You need to be able to see them. It's easy to set a goal and then forget about it. But if you can look back to it and refer to it, even better. So, okay, with that in mind, everybody, I'm going to wrap this training up. Okay, the point of this training again, have goals, set plans, and stick to them. Have some structure to your business, because as you do that, you're going to see a lot more success. One more tip, as mentioned earlier, that when performance is measured, performance improves. When performance is measured and reported to someone, the rate of improvement accelerates. And that's where this gets tricky in our business, because we are on our own somewhat, business owners who don't really need to report to anyone. We aren't accountable to anybody. However, we do have a team, If you're a team coordinator, you have at least 3 team leaders. If you are a team coordinator, there's a pretty good chance that there's a sales director above you that got you involved in the business. Ask them, say, hey, I know you're busy, but would you mind if, every week I just kind of send you an email with my weekly goals, and then at the end of every week I sent you another email saying, hey, this is how I did, and maybe you could help follow up with me. Just whatever kind of relationship you want to create like that, it's going to be beneficial to be, and they can do the same thing with you. It can be reciprocal. So, but by measuring the goals and reporting them, not only is your performance going to improve, but the rate of that improvement will increase. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. Little steps like this are what will make your business be successful, and will help you achieve your overall goals and your financial goals, and it's what will help take your Doobly business from a part-time, you make a few dollars here and there, to a real job that gives you financial and time freedom. And that's what we all got involved for, I'm sure, is to, I'll tell you personally, the 3 things I got involved with Doobly for. First, I was very intrigued by the opportunity to help businesses and charities. Second, giving me financial freedom. Third, accomplish the first 2 things, helping other people and attaining financial freedom with free time, on my own time, you know what I mean, with some freedom. So with little steps like this, setting goals, using this plan, I have this available on the training site. Make your own changes, do whatever you want to do to it. But by using this, you're going to achieve your freedom, your financial and time freedom goals. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. Sometimes I ramble, I'm sorry, but I think the point is there. And if you have questions or if you have suggestions for me, I'm always open. Let me know. And let's go change the world and do some good in the world together.